Laws and borders are there for law-abiding folk. Criminals disregard both in their pursuit for their self-enrichment outside the norms of society. The rewards are substantial. We have heard today of the many ways of conducting criminal activities across borders, and the Joint Standing Committee on Defence witnessed it firsthand when we saw the makeshift border crossings made by vehicle smugglers. And be assured that if you are smuggling a car across a border, you may as well put some other contraband in while you are busy. A case of kill two stoners with one firebird, perhaps. The rewards are great, and the risks to criminals on our borders are far too low to be a major deterrent. The obvious threats have either been mentioned today or are well known. Vehicles being taken out of South Africa, drugs being brought in, human trafficking and illegal landings at our small airports and harbors. The nonsensical ban on cigarettes during this government's lockdown highlighted the scale of cigarette smuggling. What is alarming, not only with the cigarettes, is that the criminals are known and they continue openly among us. And not only are they not brought to book, but they are celebrated, be it in the Kasi or in the hood. The gangster culture is admired and emulated. Or it even goes into the swanky clubs and hotels where they rub shoulders with the rich and famous, the police and the politicians. And that brings us to the fact that we now face grey-listing by the world's financial arbiters. I'm sure the president was shocked, as he usually is, but all of us were a bit surprised when we heard that the financial checks and balances that are in place were not working to prevent transnational crime. But when you think about all the money that's currently in Dubai, whether it be with the Guptas, Duduzane Kababa, or Ubaba himself, it's obvious that money flows were not monitored. Once again, this government has been found lacking. Each time government does something to stop cross-border crime, there are those on the inside ensuring that there are friends that can beat the system. Look at the washing line fence border that was a good idea at the time. Absolutely decimated and so easy to beat by the vehicle thieves, the smugglers, and the human traffickers. Stock theft units have been disbanded. SARS and customs were hollowed out, and a border management authority has been created to make sure that there's enough role confusion that nobody has to take the blame. The FIC has been ring-fenced and is operating in isolation. For every solution, a loophole has been created. The police minister today listed some successes, and indeed, Minister, successes must be celebrated and acknowledged. But Minister, the successes are too few. You spoke about crime intelligence, but your biggest failure is the lack of intelligence. It shouldn't take a James Bond or even a poor lookalike to tell you that South Africa's intelligence services have no handle on cross-border crime. Again, it's been hollowed out by cadre deployment, be it within SAPS or the State Security Agency, where too much focus has been on internal party bickering for them to actually do the job that they should be doing. Instead, we rely on reports from foreign intelligence operators. Mr. Nkata reminded us of the Freedom Charter. Indeed, that document promised us that there will be security and comfort, peace and friendship. The ANC has not delivered these things. There is no one here who has not been impacted by a serious crime. The charter has been abandoned. MEC Mazibuko thinks that Gauteng is not a border town. She forgets that Johannesburg is the world's largest dry port. Look it up. And of course, OR Tambo International Airport is a major thoroughfare for crime and criminals. Many today have decried the foreign nationals living among us as being the criminal element. Remember, that is how we may be perceived when we visit them. Mr. Shongwe and I agree on this point. But listening to today's inputs, it seems that SALGA has better solutions than government. Another thing Mr. Shongwe spoke about is he spoke about the invasion of Russia into the Ukraine. I'd say that is the ultimate transnational crime. And moving on to Minister Modise, blaming a lack of resources cannot be your excuse. Minister, you sit in cabinet. You sit in the caucus that pushes a bad budget through each year. But certainly, Minister, we welcome your thoughts on the re-establishment of the commando system. In conclusion, House Chair, the African National Congress-led government has played an active, enabling role in creating a gangster state. The love of money and the lack of consequences has made politicians in high places the playthings of criminals, ensuring that there are no consequences for them either. No risks and a shared reward. The lawlessness takes over. What a mess for us to fix when we take over in 2024. But fix it we will. South Africa deserves it. South Africa deserves a democratic alliance government. Thank you.